And we're back for another exciting bonus-filled episode from our spin-off of Wrestling with the Horror of It All. This is One Horrible Weekend. I'm Casey. That's Eric. Or maybe that's Eric. Depends on how it goes. He's somewhere. I don't know. We're going to talk about one of the houses at Halloween Horror Nights. Are you excited?
I am very excited. Yeah, that now that we're seeing some stuff come out, that's pretty cool. Some actual prices of menu items and things like that you were just
Yeah.
showing. Also very exciting because a little bit cheaper, not like super cheaper than I was expecting, but definitely I was maybe overestimating just for my own my own budgetary sake. So this is nice to see some things a few dollars even cheaper than I was expecting.
All right. I meant to
Though
show you
some things are a lot more than I was expecting. I'm looking at you, Wyatt Blue Cup.
the Wyatt Blue Cup. Yes. I meant to show you there's a photo. We now know what the Henson Muppet characters for Five Nights at Freddy's look like. I meant to show you a
Oh,
picture of that. They
yes,
look just
please.
like you would from the movie. So I'll
Okay.
show you when we get done recording. I'll
Is
show
it
it to you.
the main what five from the movie?
It's
The wolf,
three. It
the
was
ducky, the bear, the
well.
chicken.
Let's do some movie magic, shall we, real quick, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to pause. I'm going to show it to him, and we'll be right back. 2 seconds. And we're back. Eric, what did you think of how they looked?
Yeah, no, they look very real to the movie, like spot on. So great
Agreed.
job. Um, I'm kind of excited after watching the movie. I'm kind of excited for the Freddy's house.
All right.
So
Let's talk real
yeah,
quick. We both
yeah.
watched the movie. Neither of us had seen it before. What did you think of the movie? Just a quick little, you don't need to give me your score unless you happen to know it off the top of your head.
I think I gave it a 4 stars score because I really liked it. I thought it was very self-contained, which is
Mhm.
kind of nice. It worked, there wasn't like a feeling of loose threads really anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a little hoary and some of it's like all these things line up, but not bad at the same time again. I thought the graphics, if you will, or the animatronics or the puppetry or a little bit of each were all really good. The storyline was surprisingly fine.
Mhm.
It wasn't like the best, but like I don't expect that for pretty much from any horror movie, honestly.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, no, I liked it a lot. I thought the kid actor did a really good job. I thought Josh Hutcherson did a really good
Yeah.
job. I think Hutcherson, is that right? Um, I don't know the woman's name, but she did well as
Yeah.
well. I love seeing Matthew Lillard back in action.
I agree.
I'm a
I
big Matthew Lillard fan,
can't wait to
so
see him in the sequel.
yeah.
Him
So
and Skeet Ulrich.
and now I will have to go see the sequel because I actually like this movie enough where I think I want to see what
All right.
happens moving forward.
All right. Yeah,
This was
I
this was one of my favorite horror films I've watched yet, and it wasn't even part of our main list.
and it's only PG-13, so that helped.
That might have been
I
part of it.
I liked it. You like it more than me. You gave it 4 stars. I gave it 3.5 stars. So you like it a
Okay.
little bit more than me.
Rachel loved it too. Rachel really liked
That's awesome. Mine, not so much. So I thought it was fun. Not only did I do that, I went and got the game on Switch. It was 7.99. I got it and I played through it. I technically beat it. You can activate cheat modes within it, and by
it. Okay.
cheat modes, all I did was so basically it's you're in one room and you just flip through cameras, and as you flip through the cameras, you might see one of the characters no longer where they were, and then you might look on another camera and then they're there, and
Right.
then you flip to another camera and then come back and they're gone, and then you're going through and then you find them in another camera and they're progressively getting closer to you, and you just have to survive 1 week. Where I use the cheat is there's one of the cheats was there's one that's unlimited power that I didn't use. I just did speed up time
Mhm.
because you have to go from midnight to 6 a.m. and it's probably 5 minutes per hour.
Okay.
And as a why, it just takes a long time when you're playing
Right.
it. And
Yeah.
eventually, it's interesting as it is, it does get a little old after 10 minutes of like, well, it's still 1
Click,
a.m.
click, click, click,
Yeah,
click, click. And I'm assuming the horrors, quote unquote, get worse every night of the five.
they just become more alive. They by
Mhm.
more alive, they speed up their progress to get to you.
And
So while you're in the room, you can. So every time you access the cameras, you start to deplete your battery, and you start with 100% charge. And if it goes to zero before 6 a.m., you're probably going to get killed. And so then there is when you're not looking at your cameras, there's a door on your left and a door on your right. You can close the doors, but that depletes your battery. and the when the doors are closed, it's just progressively depleting your battery. So if you have the doors closed and you're looking at your video monitors, you're
You're
depleting it
really
faster. Then you have lights that you can turn on in front of both doors. If you turn those on with everything else, you really deplete your battery really fast. So the idea is to keep battery at least up to 1% battery and make it till 6 a.m.
so how much of the game is like action? How much of it
None
is
of
you
it,
fighting, so to speak?
nothing. You're just trying to stay alive in there, at least in the
Interesting.
first one. And so the first time I played it, I didn't understand what was going on because there's no like instruction. You just figure it out.
Right.
First time dead by like 3 a.m. because I depleted my battery.
Sure, sure, sure.
I didn't know the battery thing. And then next thing I know, the lights go out, and then there's like a flash of light in one of the doorways, and you just see Freddy's eyes looking at you. And then
Ooh.
the screen went black, and then next thing I know, you just see it like that's what it like jumps at you in front of the camera, and then it just cuts to black, game over. I started over and I was starting to figure out the battery thing. So
So I
then I
assume
did
you
it
have to, there's no like save after one night. You have to start back at the 5 nights.
every once you get to the next night, then it the continue will be wherever that
Okay.
was. So then the second time I played it, I made it through the first night, but then the second night I depleted my battery and the weird blue foxy wolf thing, the one that we were just
Yeah, yeah,
debating
yeah.
on,
Yeah.
he got me. And so when they get into the camera, they'll be sitting there at the camera like just staring at you.
We told you.
Yeah. And so I eventually got it. And again, it's like you're not paying attention, and the next thing you know, it's just like all of a sudden it's just like it jumps at you on the screen.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Then I turned on the cheat because I was like, I'm enjoying this, but it takes a long time to get through. The cheat just cut the time down by like half. So at that point, I was able to do it. There was one night, I think it was night five. I got down to my battery depleted before it went over to 6 a.m. And I'm like, oh no, I'm at 0% battery. And
Okay.
so then fortunately it rolled over to six. So it was all good. The
But for those of you wondering why I'm not paying attention, I am. I'm just trying to look because I feel like they gave away Five Nights at Freddy's at one point on PSN. But I could be
I
completely
feel like
mistaken.
they
And
did.
if so, I probably haven't. So I'm looking through my
Yeah.
library now.
It was fun.
I may play it.
What was amusing to me was I was playing it while I was laying in bed, and I wasn't like drifting off, but I played it. I don't know, maybe 40 minutes. Maybe it took me about 40
Hmm.
minutes to beat it. I think it's supposed to take about 2.5 hours if you play it with real full time, without doing the cut down time. Anyway, that night I kept dreaming about that game. Like I just kept dreaming about like the things like popping up in the camera, like tried to scare me.
Oh no, thank
So it
you.
was a very weird effect that the game had. Probably because you're just looking at still images so much. It's just like
Right.
constant still images. But all in all, it's an effective game. I don't know if I need to go back and replay it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I now have the context. I can see how the movie way fleshed out the game, and I'm sure the other games flesh it out, but the movie fleshed it out. So now I'm
Totally.
excited. My understanding is they are recreating that control room from the game fully. Like it'll be fully
With
there.
the metal, I have to imagine that the house will have that metal face coming at you or whatever.
I assume so, yeah. So that metal face thing is not in the game.
No, I
You
don't
don't get to
imagine.
see that little bit. Oh, one thing with those doors, by the way, I didn't explain how they work in the game. When you notice like a character like one room away from you, you can close the door and then they can't get in. And then they'll slowly move away from you. So that's why you close and open those doors. Anywho,
So it does not look like I ever bought them before, but they have looks like 4 games. The first one, the second one, Security Breach, and then Secret of the Mimic
there you go.
are the five I see. But 1 and 2 on PSN for what it's
Yeah.
worth are only $4 right now.
Or $4?
Yeah, they're both 50% off. So is Security Breach, but that came out more recently, so that's $20.
Maybe you should buy the first one and just do the first one.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, thinking
Yeah.
about it.
You should. I'm glad I did. Okay, so let's speculate about what this house is. Okay, we know it's going to look. They're going to do a lot of the movie designs. They've been a couple of images we've kind of seen, so we don't need
Hmm.
to do anything about that. They did say, I think it was in the Hollywood Reporter article, that we get to see the blade mask thing going towards someone in the movie, but we don't actually see it hit them and all of that, we're going to see that in the house. And they're going to show us the other people getting killed in the house.
Okay.
So my assumption, oh, and they're going to play a lot on the kids, showing us more of the kids. I think we're going to have adults dressed up as kids popping in and out trying to scare us randomly or lead us in different directions.
Uh-huh.
I fully expect that we'll see we'll see the control room. We already know that. I think they're going to play with there's something in an image and then it's gone, like the screen fritz for a second and then it's gone. I think they're going to play with that. I definitely think it's going to be really gory when we see what happened to the person in the chair, and I think they're going to see a body there like twitching as the thing
Hmm.
moves in, and then maybe some blood splatter out. I think we'll see aftermath of others. I expect them to show us people trapped in the suits since we know that he put his victims in there.
Yep.
So I'm expecting to see bones in a suit or maybe a person who's just gotten locked in and they're like,
Ooh.
"Help me! Help me!" I expect to see something like that. They did say the house will be gory, whereas the movie wasn't. I hope that we get to see the cupcake, the death by cupcake is what I like to call that little scene.
Yes, I do want a death by cupcake moment.
I hope we get that. I totally expect we're going to be chased by Yellow Rabbit. I totally expect
Yes.
we're going to get
Yes.
chased by Yellow Rabbit.
Yes,
What
that totally makes sense.
are there any like scenes that you want to see? What are you kind of expecting to see?
I'd like to see from if you think of the movie, I'd like to think of the kind of the well, obviously I think we got to get like a feeling of like game machines, pinball games, things like that
Mhm.
turning on and
Yep,
off rapidly around us.
yep.
But I would also like to see kind of that last moment where everything starts crumbling in on itself and collapsing.
Oh, that'd
And
be
I think
fun.
that would be a good moment for us to like have to escape. Right.
Oh
That's
yeah,
kind of towards the end. We have to get
yeah.
out of the house before it crumbles on top of us.
Okay, I like that. What else?
Um, like I said, I'd like to see the face with the machinery inside the face that we think based on the movie kills the first guard in the movie
Yeah.
and certainly tries to kill Josh. Um, I do like the idea of bloody bodies forced into the suits, so I
Mhm.
think that works out as well. Um, I think you'll have to have the hallway. Oh, I did write notes. Let me.
Oh, you took notes. I did not because I
Well,
was
I did
not on
not
top
take
of it.
notes, so I've taken some notes in terms of like what I expect to see in the house
Right.
based on the
Yes. Yes.
movies, and I
Yes.
have
That's what I
all
meant.
of the
I didn't take any. I forgot to do it.
yeah, yeah. I have
I
all of the
wasn't ready.
Friday the 13th as well, but then I have Five Nights at Freddy's. So
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's, I said, Chica, you remember Chica when she walks behind the exhaust fan in the kitchen?
Yep. I
I think
bet you
that
we're gonna.
exhaust fan will be big. I think the kitchen will probably come
Yeah.
into play in general. I said that supply closet, the dark supply closet from the very beginning with the bloody
Yes.
handprint. I
Yes.
think
I
that's
definitely
going to
think we're
be.
gonna see that. I
I
bet you
think we'll
that's a
see the
scream.
handprint.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the yeah. And maybe
Um.
eyes. Maybe we see silhouette of a person behind it, and then the eyes pop, and then you see the bloody handprint go.
Yeah. And I also saw the song that we should be hearing from them
Yes.
playing.
Yeah.
I hear the secrets that you keep
Yep.
when
I-
you
We
talking
better.
and so
Yeah. We better get
um
that.
I think we'll see the snap rib cage. If you remember the things that
Yes. Yep.
ultimately maybe does in Matthew Lillard. We'll have to find out with part two. Um, the bare face with the saw, the evil cupcake, and the wall of the kids' drawings in there.
Yes, I'm hoping part of the queue is the wall of the kids' drawings,
Yeah,
or some of the hallways that we will walk from room to room will be lined with all the kids' drawings.
yes. And that's what I put. Those were all my notes. But yeah, that's where I think we're
All
gonna
right.
see.
I'm kind of in line with you. I think that's pretty much what we're gonna get. I'm
Because I
very
think we're gonna
excited.
go more game, but we're gonna pull set elements from the movie.
That's
But the
kind of my
game will
thought
be more the
too.
vibe, I think, probably based on what you're saying,
That's kind of
with
my
this kind
thought as well.
of
Like
popping up and
the scariness and the jump scares of the game with the aesthetics of the movie and then some new twist added in between. I think
right.
it's what they're probably gonna do. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a really cool
I
house.
think it'll be really neat. Yeah, yeah, I agree. And
I
I think I I think it's gonna feel like we're in the movie,
yeah,
but I think we're gonna have a lot of it'll be mostly creepy versus in your face scares.
yeah.
Like it's gonna be like what's around there. Like it's gonna be treading lightly in dark areas and things like that. It'll be interesting to see because you've talked about how these houses move the entire time. Like there's just
Yeah.
kind of continuous. There's
Yeah. How
no
you're just
stop,
walking through.
wait for
Yeah.
your team or whatever. So I'll be curious to see how this one works, especially if it is like I'm thinking, where it's a little bit more slow paced, creepy versus what I imagine the bounty hunters chains and stuff to be, where they're literally just coming at you with chainsaws and pickaxes and whatever for the whole time.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the one that's going to be the hardest to get into. I think this is the one that they are going to be banking, like,
I
expect
think
a
you're right.
2 hour line. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is the big one. I think this is the one that's going to draw in kids. I think normally they say don't no under 13. I think we're going to be pushing that 13 line for kids wanting to come in and see this house. They're definitely pushing it merch wise. There's so much Five Nights at Freddy's merch, and I think it's more of a millennial and younger house for them. So I
Yes.
expect this one to be pretty intense. I'm fairly confident. I read that there are multiple houses this year that will have two queues, or sorry, not two queues, two paths. And I don't know if it's going to be a wet path and a dry path, as in Terrifier, or if it's a scary and a not scary path. I don't know how it is, but I read
I
that
don't see how
there's a
you do a
couple of
not
houses.
scary haunted house path.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, but I don't understand, like, this, none of the other houses other than Terrifier explain why you would like get people soaking wet. So I don't
Mm,
understand why you would have the two. Again, I read it. It will know more on Thursday after Premium Scream happens. People will start reporting it.
right.
And folks, just so you know, we're not watching things about the houses and then go like speculating on it. We're making our speculations and then we might watch and see what some people say about the houses. The Hollywood Reporter thing and the Entertainment Weekly, we just happen to see some images and stuff, but we don't know much about what
They're
else is in the house.
pretty limited images, honestly.
Yeah,
Even with the Entertainment Weekly gave us our best image of the Spanish house, but
yeah,
that's about all it really gave us in terms of my opinion. Though it did show the archway
yeah.
from the movie of Five Nights at Freddy's. So that's why I'm hoping that we see that come into play again with like the collapsing building.
Agreed. Agreed. And whenever we whenever we do say something like we know about this, we'll try to let you know so it's not we're trying to pretend we don't
Right.
know.
I do think
Um,
what would be cool with the Five Nights at Freddy's is if you are essentially the new security guard.
that's
Like I
my
don't know
hope.
how they would do this, but if they give you a flashlight and so like you have to find your way around almost,
No,
how cool would that be?
they're
Yeah, they'll
definitely
never
not
do
going to
that.
do that. But I do think we are supposed to be the new either we are a new security guard or we are someone who's breaking in to rob the
Mm,
place. They'll probably
yeah,
be the
which is
two.
essentially part two or the beginning of part one.
Yeah. So I'm
I
excited for
think it's
this
both
one,
those
but
parts.
it is going to be one of the harder ones to get into. So if this is the one you want, I suggest as soon as you get to Horror Nights, once you can get in, just go get in queue and just wait for it. You can play the game of maybe it'll drop at midnight, and maybe it will, but maybe it won't. And you don't want to get into that line at 1:45 a.m. or 1:59 a.m. being like, well, they're going to let me ride it or do it, but it's still a 2 hour wait. And then you still have
Yeah.
to wait. Just,
Yeah, you're at the park till 6 a.m.
yeah,
basically.
if this is the one you are excited to do, I highly recommend you do it first. If this is your, like, we must do.
Agreed. Though I
So,
would say to your point from other videos, like one of the shows might be the other best time to try to figure this out, versus I think this will be crowded all night.
yeah.
And so that's why I don't think the midnight's going to see that much of a drop for Freddy's, but the shows,
Yes,
during the shows might be the most you're most likely to see a true dip in Freddy's.
yeah. And I would,
And even then, depends on if the shows are really close.
yeah, if you're doing Stay and Scream and you can get in that line quick, that's probably one of your better bets. If you're coming in right when the park opens at 6:30, I mean, get in line, but it's probably gonna be long. But might as well, if you're doing multiple nights, might as well just get it over with and do it and not have to deal with it the second time, unless you just
These
really want to do
houses
it.
that have multiple paths, we're going to have to do at least twice or each path, basically.
I know, I'm well aware, and I'm excited to try. Will we be able to? Who knows? If these lines
Who
are super
knows?
long, we may not be able to, but maybe it's horrible weather and people stay away. So there's different
I don't
options.
want to be there in a hurricane though either. So.
Oh, I meant like just like a bad rainstorm. People are like, I'm gonna
Okay,
get wet. I'm like, well, I'm getting
you're
wet
gonna
in
get wet in the
Terrifier.
Terrifier. Yeah,
Who
exactly.
cares? So there we go. All
Folks,
right.
I am shopping specific for this. I have bought Crocs so that I am ready for light
Yes.
on my feet airy and able to change my socks probably. Yeah, I'll be that guy with socks and Crocs. It's gonna happen.
He will be.
But they're not the normal Crocs. They do have like some tread on the bottom to help me get some stability as it does rain there and almost guaranteed.
They will be blinged out and horror gibbets.
So find me if you can. Look for my horror Crocs with horror giblets all over them. My
They,
normal ish Crocs with horror
yep.
giblets all over them.
It's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting. All right. Thank you, Eric, for speculating with me.
Of course.
Everyone, stay tuned for all the content we have. By the time this drops, you might. Oh, no. Actually, the day after this drops, we're doing our Terrifier hot takes. Will be the next
Ooh.
day. So check that out. And if you're watching this after it's already dropped, check out Terrifier hot takes. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be spicy. All right. Cool. Thank you so much. All of the normal things where you can find us have been scrolling at the bottom of the screen, so check all those out. And Eric, once again, thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful speculation video.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate
Remember,
you.
keep it not funny.